What's up, Plebheads? I'm Neo, joined here by my brother,
Mr. Fucking YouTube Baby.
So we've got some, looks like we got some IGN gameplay here for Dying Light 2. So Jdog, let's get in and let's check it out, and we're going to have some developer commentary here over the top.
You are not you. So we thought that to create this ultimate experience of the open world, we just need to change something on the storytelling to make sure that it also will feel like the gameplay with the same amount of the emergent situations that you can play with. And we call it narrative sandbox. So the choices and consequences, in our opinion, was something really important for the formula. And how we did it? We did it.
So like they are going to keep that.
It should be done in our way for the action games. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's a must. Otherwise, you just have a rinse, wash, repeat at this point.
Twists and thrills. You've seen the demo, so you know what I'm talking about.
Ooh, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't care for that.
Every choice you make has a consequence, and those consequences are not only connected to narrative events, so it's not like someone will die or live only, those kind of things, but also things about the world. So world reacts on your choices. If you do something with one faction, the other faction will react. There's something will be different in the city. The new community is gonna appear in the city. So the skyline will be different. So a lot of those kind of things. So the city in our game is actually another hero. Yeah. So it's not only about game about Aiden Cole.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! Look at this.
And
this is cool.
I mean, I like the setup, but I need more environmental stuff like this. This is the stuff I get into. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
Like that? Enough games don't do that, front roll like that.
When it comes to actual crucial, massive changes in the story, and of course in the areas that you get to explore.
Well, many times, but it's not overwhelming. It's like you're building your feeling about what to do before. It's not like you have a decision to make and then the word would change into A or B. Before making a decision, you have those tiny choices that you do before to just understand what this faction is doing, what this faction is doing, is this guy okay or not, and therefore you'll be ready to make this final choice. I believe Chris can jump and talk more about that.
Yeah, for most of the decisions, we try and make sure the stakes are listed out before you actually make the decision. So even though there's a sense of urgency about it, you actually know what's at stake when making those big choices. But the environmental reactivity, though, like when Adrian first showed it to me, I was like, I can't believe this. Because usually, so I worked on role-playing games, and it's really easy to do like narrative reactivity when dealing with NPCs. But then to see an entire district change is something else, then get a whole new area to explore.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's actually a really interesting to me.
I'll be really curious to see how that works in this game.
It's actually fun because this, maybe one bad habit I have when writing is I want to write all the stories at once, but then it provides a world where it's actually possible to do that, where it's not like, hey, I'm not just writing one linear thing. I can actually go A, B, C versus just a linear path. So it's actually it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tell us about the new moves we can expect in Dying Light 2. When I was experiencing the demo, I remember at one point you guys were counting the moves, and it was like 10 in a matter of seconds. And I think there was mention that you had double the moves in Dying Light 2 from the original. Yeah,
it's like we doubled the amounts of moves, parkour moves from the first game.
Right.
What also we did is the new system of leveling up. It's not only about skills; it's also about the evolving your avatar, so your body. So you have, for example, this
your avatar,
other tools, and you just can level up your gear. So that's something different than skills. And the third thing that it gives you a lot of new options during the traversal is actually the city, our character. The city is a character in the game. So by your choices, you actually transform certain passages.
Environments look good.
Really good. They're the whole way they're going about this looks fantastic.
To be even more efficient in movement and combat, of course.
I'm just trying to take this all in.
You have the movement and the combat.
Well, I think that was one of the things I was most impressed with.
I think environmental traversal is the one thing about Dying Light that I like the most, because you had that kind of parkour feeling to it, and I really hope that this game expands on that and builds on that. I'm definitely getting a
Die Young.
No, not Die Young, but
exciting
Little
to
bit?
me.
Yeah,
free
maybe
roam
a
thing?
little bit of that, but there's
Correct me if I'm wrong, that there was
God, this is cool, though.
ways
Yeah,
I
of
think
this
this looks
the
cool as
story
hell.
There are a couple
given
other games that kind of had
Yeah.
jumping and running and
It's
movement
like
mechanics like this that
You
I've
have
played.
plenty
So
of choices to do, not only on the narrative side, but also on the gameplay side. You can approach the main goal of the in the demo. You can approach it like it
Wow.
was in the demo presented. But you can also use your skills and eventually dive somewhere, for example, use the skills, your stamina-based skills, to approach the goal. So it's not only about those gimmicks on the narrative side, you can also find the overpass on the gameplay side, kill zombies differently, use the environment, use the communities that you're working with, they can help you in a fight. So there's a lot of options how to deal with the infected and other bandits, for example.
So we play a character named Aiden, is that right?
Yeah, Aiden Caldwell. Yeah.
Does Aiden have a backstory, or is it?
Yeah, it's the game starts outside the city, so that's the first thing, and you're entering the city. So it's a new world for you. You are infected. You are not infected at the very beginning of the game, so you're learning what does it mean to be infected. So you're adjusting to the new world, and there is a backstory. He's like he's got this, but to make sure that it will be the immersive experience, we thought that this moral compass of Aiden Caldwell is actually the player, you know. So my Aiden Caldwell, Lucy's Aiden Caldwell, Chris Aiden Caldwell.
oh shit, it's about to get real.
Yep.
There's something that is written in stone at the very beginning.
Well,
And
here
when
we
you're
go.
approaching the city, you need to adjust to the situation, and in the way you adjust means that it's connected.
Whoa!
Jesus fucking
Whoa!
Christ!
How was that for you, writing that character, where you basically had to kind of provide a certain degree of blank slateness, if that makes sense?
Yeah, actually, well, that's good. It just means you can make.
Jesus
kind of
Christ, dude, this
clear
is
part of the
ridiculous.
story. Like, it's one thing to.
So when I hear this guy talk right now, I'm thinking of the guys playing World of Warcraft in South Park.
Yeah.
At that time, I will cast Intimidating Shout.
Yeah.
Got it. That's what I'm thinking of. This is what I'm thinking of.
He rocked him!
Jesus Christ.
Super kick!
Amazing proposition. Let's talk about combat. How have you evolved combat?
God, hopefully they have.
So we just did, of course, a big change. It's still the evolution of this super joyful combat from the first game, but right now it's more tactical.
Yep.
So it's more about observing your enemy and then react. So learning the right move, right moment is crucial, and it creates the sensation of joy in the way that wasn't even implemented in the first game. You know? Because you have this moment that you feel like, okay, we're finding this moment, and then drop kick or other fancy move from the first game. So they're all there, but it's like more tactical, it's more connected with this momentum, and it gives you a lot of satisfaction. We also did some changes in crafting, so crafting is also supporting this way of playing this combat more tactical, so those effects are very much connected with certain abilities of the enemies, so you can interact with, so you can debuff something, for example, to make you sure that you will find the right way to finish the guy. So it's more tactical, but the level of joy, the excitement connected to combat is echoing in our game. So it's all there, and it's even higher level than in the first game.
Do your sort of, how do I put this? If you're really brutal and just decide to kill everyone, or if you decide to spare certain people, especially human beings, I presume zombies are fair game, does that affect the story in any way?
I can't tell you too much about that, but as we mentioned even a year ago, this narrative sandbox we're creating is like the choices you make on the gameplay side affect the narrative, and the choices you make on the narrative side affect gameplay. So
This looks so much better than the trailer we saw at E3.
Oh,
that
way
trailer
better.
looked like dog shit.
This looks way better.
on that, unfortunately, but
And way more interesting,
Yeah,
too, which is important.
I'm thinking this will go up before our trailer reaction does for Dying Light 2, most likely. But that trailer they had at E3 sucked.
Yeah.
This is excellent.
Obviously a very complicated story.
I like the environment. I really do.
Yeah. Oh, I'm.
Very big fan. Very big fan of the
in
environment.
first game, when you're joining someone's session, you're joining his world.
Yep.
So you entering my world, for example, and then you're gonna see the consequences of my choices. So that's the thing. We thought that would be really nice experience to play the game of someone's world to see how this works.
And it looks pretty decent too.
Series of choices you made.
Oh yeah, I think this looks good.
So if you join my session, you'll be just my mate in my game, in my world. Of course, the gear you find, that everything that it's really not connected to choices will be with you in your game while you disconnect. It's fully drop in, drop out. We still
You got co-op?
working on something that will be really a big milestone in full play.
This is the kind of game I'd like to play with you. Full exploration like this.
More about that.
I would love something like
Yeah,
this.
joining my session, you in the world, so it's
Almost like kind of joining as a ghost in Dark Souls, where you can't affect the game world, but you can help them out and get items. That's kind of cool.
I like that.
Joining someone's session and see how this thing can look. So that's also a great experience of playing a game. So this is something really awesome. And eventually, if you play the game again from the very beginning, as a game plus, you can make a different choices. So
cool.
It will be a different game. That's a cool
Very
thing
cool.
because we have fans that are still playing Dying Light 1. It's still 500,000 people are playing Dying Light every week. So it's a cool thing because I'm asking them where you are, and they're talking. I'm on a Pact with Rice quest, lap 4 or lap 5. You know, so they're just playing all over again. So in Dying Light 2, that will be a different lap. You know, it's like because of the choices they can make, it's a different game. So
That's cool.
Yeah, that's important, especially in like staying away from your game and making it stay relevant.
To make you want to play it again.
Yeah.
Second quarter of 2020 is what you're saying right now.
Yep.
Summer 2020. So that's actually really good. Gives them a year to polish this up and gives us something to look forward to.
More on IGN leading up to its release. Right now, E3 continues. What's up next?
Jdog, let's talk about what we saw.
I'll tell you this right now. I'm glad they released this.
Yeah.
Because I had lost hope for this game after what we saw for the trailer at E3, which was a useless, stupid fucking trailer.
That trailer was dog shit.
Didn't do anything to get me excited for this game. It just looked like a copy and paste sort of zombie survival thing that we're sick and tired of.
Yeah.
Look, I think a lot of the mechanics, maybe in the way the combat is and different things, are going to be relatively similar to what we see in other games. But for me, the interest here is in the narrative space, right?
Yeah.
How do choices affect, what you can do in the game and what the game becomes? I mean, that really is what has my interest here.
Yeah.
I think the environment specifically looks very good. And very interesting. It looks like there's a lot of places to run around, and a lot of different. It looks like the jumps are going to get you, and you can climb different things, which is really cool. I like that a lot. But for me, this choice thing they're talking about, that's really where this game sticks with me, right? I need something different, right? I need some hook in a game that's not just zombies, combat.
Cutting heads off.
I mean, that's Dead Island, right?
Yeah,
we did that.
That's Dead Island and Dying Light. That's old.
We did it 10 years ago. We did it in Dead Island 2. We did it in Dying Light 1. I'm not going to pay $60 to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, personally.
Nope.
But if you give me a new hook, I'll happily give you $60. If you got my attention and you're hooking me in the game with something other than combat and other than, your movement, which, okay, we can see, and it looks like it's going to be fine, right? It's kind of expected that the combat and movement's going to be not worse than the first game.
Yeah, well, you hope not. You certainly hope not.
So where's the hook here? For me, it's the way you can make choices and create a different narrative experience.
And a different world, too.
Yeah, and apparently do it again in New Game Plus and see different outcomes, which is really neat.
Or even the thing about like you and I is if we were to play this game together, when I come to your world, we do it one way. You come to my world, we do it the other way.
Exactly. So we'd have a kind of a co-op style setting, almost kind of like I mentioned earlier. Kind of reminds me of the way you become a ghost in Dark Souls, right? Where you go in, you help the other guy, you can get items, you can, be a part of their world, but you can't necessarily quote unquote affect it, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing here.
Absolutely.
At least that's what I'm getting out of what they're talking about.
And I like that.
I do too. And, I'm a big fan of co-op. So I think that's fun. And I think that gives another dimension to the game that would, again, create interest for me. Wolfenstein New Youngblood's got the same thing, right? Am I going to give a bunch of money to play another Wolfenstein game? Probably not. You know, day one for just another first-person shooter, right? But hey, if we get some co-op in it, $30, maybe I can see it.
Yeah.
But I actually really like what I saw here. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
know
well, after that trailer, I mean, if
maybe it's because my expectations were zero.
When our reaction to the trailer drops, or if it's up already at the time that we upload this, you guys got to go back and watch that trailer reaction, because not the first one from last year, but the one from 2019, it was just a piss poor trailer. It was a shitty cinematic blunder.
Yeah,
I thought it was stupid.
It was, and it did nothing to increase our interest or hype for this game at all.
Nope.
This, on the other hand, is exactly what we were hoping to see at E3. So I guess we just kind of missed this, or they uploaded it after, whatever. But for me, this was exactly what I was hoping for. This is what I want to see from this game. I'm glad that it's coming out in the summer of 2020, because that gives us a chance to clear up some other games and hopefully open up some time for this, because this looks like it could be really good.
Absolutely.
My eyes are on this one, guys, for sure.
Well, we want to know what you plebs think about Dying Light 2 down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed the reaction discussion here, and we'll see each and every one of you right here next time on the Baldwin Plebs for more content like this.
You're welcome.
GG, yo plebs.